black audience in America?
Oh, of course he did. Bob, until he died, he did. Bob had a cult following in America. And when you go to a Bob Marley concert, it was sold out, but it was white.
Yeah, the black people were going to respond in. It was always a big thing. We always talked about it. We always wondered why.
So Frankie Crocker, the #1 jock in the country, said that I got a concert with the Commodores. We'll guarantee you 3 months of airplay if Bob would open for the Commodores. We said, you got to be crazy. The Commodores should be opening a show for Bob Marley, not in reverse. I went back to Bob, and Bob said, no problem.
Madison Square Garden show. That night was history. Every single one that was in the audience stood on their feet to acknowledge this man. The doors of America was open to Bob right there.
The next day, we were out in Central Park jogging, and we was going up this hill, and all of a sudden he stumbled, and he laid him down on the side of the trail, and he started shaking, and he had foaming at the mouth. And I looked at him, he looked real strange. And the guys gathered around him, and they said something in patois, and he hollered, Rastafari, and jumped up off the ground, scared me to death. I mean, he was there shaking and foaming. Next thing I know, he just jumped up.
We took him to the hospital next door to my house. The doctor told Alan and me that Bob Marley had cancer and that it had spread.
He had cancer all over his body. Lungs, brain, all over the place. And it's incredible that he was able to keep working.
But the doctor told us that we shouldn't do anything, that we should just let him stay on the concert tour, that he was so strong and powerful that one day he was going to walk out on stage and he was going to fall dead. But that he could not be treated and he could not be helped.
How did he take the news? I mean, how...
Bad. He took the news bad.
I knew he'd had problem with his toe before that, but I'd forgotten about it. I think everybody seemed to have forgotten about it, because if he'd been going to regular checkups, you know, he might be around today. But
he just didn't go to his checkups.
No.
The next stop was Pittsburgh. And we were waiting for Bob to come on the bus, for all of us to drive to Pittsburgh. And we never saw Bob.
Finally, he arrived, and he was looking very, very stressed, I remember. And we went to do sound check. And I remember we did the sound check with one song. And we did that song for maybe 2 or 3 hours. I'm hurting inside.
It's the longest sound check we've ever had. It just felt like, why? We didn't understand.
We had a meeting before the show, half an hour before the show, and we were told by Alan Cole that this was going to be our last concert. And of course, we were all like in shock.
Before we went on stage, he said to me, I want you to stay pretty close in case anything should happen. I'm saying to him, nothing's going to happen to you, man. Everything's going to be all right. But he said, stay close in case, just in case you got a seizure.
I wanna love you. I wanna love and treat you right.
He put on the show, but it wasn't the same. He didn't have the same energy. But the people kept him pumped up because there's so many people in the audience, and they were Bob, Bob.
They called for an encore, and we're saying, Lord, I wonder if he can do it. And he went out and he did the encore. He did about 4 songs. And they called for another encore. And I'm saying, Jesus, I wonder if he's going to fall out on this one. But he did it. He did it. And that was the last time we performed on stage together.